I live back in the woods, you see. My woman and the kids and the dogs and me. I got a shotgun, a rifle, and a four-wheel drive, and a country boy can survive. Country folks can survive. I can plow a field all day long. I can catch catfish from dusk till dawn.
Okay.
And so Dick was hunting somewhere else. We were with this guy. Anyway, about 4 or 5 bull buffalo came by, like at 25 yards. He said, shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot any of them. I mean, no judge of trophy or anything.
Okay.
knows that buffalo there was like 35 inches, which trophy-wise is a shit buffalo.
And 35 inches is from tip to tip?
No, outside of the horn, it's the outside of the horn.
Okay.
That's
okay.
where you
okay.
measure. That's where you measure a buffalo. Okay. Anyway, so I shot this buffalo, and he just stopped, and I shot him, I don't know, 2 or 3 more times with a 505 Gibbs, because I didn't have a high-powered rifle at the time. Anyway, the buffalo went about 10 feet, dropped down. Of course, everybody came over then and loaded him up, and I noticed the professional hunter that owned the outfit, you know, usually they'll build something up. Boy, that was a good one. Not, yeah, that's fine. And that's all he said. Anyway, years later, I found it was a shit buffalo. I mean, it was mature, but not mature. And if you look at the buffalo underneath the line, now that's a good buffalo. It's 42 inches. That's a trophy.
So that's a buffalo head, then that's the skull.
Yeah,
of the
because I
buffalo.
already had one mounted.
Okay. Wow.
In other words, that one mounted would look a hell of a lot better. I killed that with frick.
And so, where did you shoot that thing at?
Oh, just in the shoulder.
In the shoulder?
Yeah, that's where I shot all up.
So that's a Cape buffalo.
Yeah.
And then next to it, we've got the water buffalo. What's the difference between the two of them?
Well, the water buffalo is indigenous to Asia, where they, you know, they plow rice paddies with them. They're tame. But they brought them to Australia, and they went wild. So Ron Hammond and I, that's Safari Club, we booked a hunt with this guy in Australia. And the guy's ranch we hunted on, it was like 1 million acres. And he was originally from Immokalee, believe it or not. The guy that owned the ranch.
In Australia?
Yeah. And the professional hunter I hunted with was originally from Zimbabwe. So he and I knew some of the same people. And anyway, we went over there. I had a hell of a good hunt. I shot like a half a dozen of them. You know, and that was the best one, which I think it's like maybe 90 inches.
Now, I got a question for you. So both the water buffalo and the Cape buffalo, they say bronze award and gold award. Who's giving out these awards?
Safari Club International.
So how do they give out the awards? Like, how do you get entered?
Well, you join. It was started in 72 or 73. A guy, what the hell was his name? Mac somebody started, and it was a local club to start with. You know, like 20 members, and you had to hunt in Africa. That was a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, now it's the largest hunting organization in the world.
Okay.
Period. And I don't know how many members they have. Probably 100,000 or better. Or probably, I don't know, 250,000 maybe.
Wow.
All your hunting organizations belong to them. And you can join as a lifetime member or a yearly member.
Mm-hmm.
I always join these things, John, as a yearly member. in case I get pissed at him. But anyway, had a hell of a good time. The guy had like 80 miles of shoreline on the Indian Ocean.
Wow.
I mean, completely wild. He had only been over like 60% of his property. You know, he moved lock, stock, and barrel from being a rancher in LaBelle to Australia. And that was a fun hunt. The only thing to shoot were buffalo, wild hogs, and kangaroos and wallabies.
You don't have a kangaroo in here. Why not?
And I just never mounted one.
Okay.
It's like I don't have a giraffe either.
So you've killed a kangaroo and a giraffe?
No, I hadn't killed a giraffe.
Oh.
I could have killed a bunch of them.
Gotcha.
But you look at a giraffe, and he's got his big doe eyes. You're not going to shoot me, are you? I mean, it's nothing. You don't have a tractor or nothing. You drive up in a Jeep and shoot him.
Right. Gotcha. So now you say you shot a bunch of the water buffalo. Do you end up donating the meat to like the locals?
No, he left the meat. It just wasn't any good. And there were thousands of them.
Gotcha.
See, these are water buffalo. That's a female, and that's another male.
How can you tell the difference?
See how big, wide the horns are.
Okay.
And this is narrow.
Gotcha.
Actually, the world record is female.
Really?
Yep. It just grew way out long. World records are usually an anomaly.
Do you have any world records?
Well, I got one, the turkey. Osceola turkey.
That's a world record, this thing?
Yep, number one. But it's no longer number one.
But it was at the time.
Yep.
Record book of trophy animals. John C. Morgan for taking a Osceola turkey with a shotgun on a hunt in Florida in Okeechobee.
Yep.
2001. Look at that. Number one. Wow.
It's still like in the top 5.
Now, what makes this a world record?
The length of the beard and the length of the spurs.
And this is the beard here?
No,
No, that's the beard?
no, you see the beard.
Oh, this?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and the spurs.
I didn't even know they measured beards on turkeys.
You see that plaque up there?
Those were all turkey beards?
All turkey beards.
Gosh.
I've killed a few of them.
Holy.
I was at the doctor's office 2 weeks ago, John, and I finished and I walked out, and the guy sitting there, he had a big shirt on, Okeechobee Trophy Hunting. Okay. So I introduced myself, said, you own an outfit, this and that. And he said, no, but I'm a professional hunter for Osceola turkeys. I said, well, I said, I don't hunt them anymore. I lost the hunting lease, but I used to hunt them a bunch. He said, you probably wouldn't be interested in. I said, well, I'm always interested in hunting this and that, blah, blah, blah. He said, well, we don't guarantee, but our Osceola hunts are like 90% successful, and they're only $2,500.
Only?
But if you kill a mature gobbler, trophy fee is $1,000.
Ah, so $3,500.
$3,500 for every one of those turkey beards.
Oh my gosh. Where those would have been free on your own lease.
Yeah. Well, they were free, except
Right.
for paying the lease money.
Right. What about, obviously, we're just close enough. This giant deer, I'm assuming here?
Well, it's an elk.
That's an elk. So,
Yep.
because I thought that was the elk over there with the like multi-antler looking thing.
That's caribou.
That's a caribou. Okay, jeez Louise. Shows how much I know about this stuff.
That's from the Arctic Circle.
So where's this thing from?
Wyoming.
And I'm assuming all the points is why you wanted this one?
Yeah. More points, the better.
Okay.
And the spread and the heaviness and length. And everything. I killed that with my friend Jim Collins. Lee was with me. And he was about, we were driving in the truck, kind of cross country. And I was sitting by the door.
Mm-hmm.
This thing come wandering out with a couple of, cow elk. I jumped out. Lee jumped out. And we both were shooting. And one of my shots, it just went boom. So it was mine. Which was neat. Story behind that. So I was done for this. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, Lee and them still wandering around. And we're like 100 miles from Jim's house. So we, got it and everything, threw it in the back of the truck, which was neat. You can drive the truck right up to it and throw it in the back. Well, anyway, I rode around with it all day. And then that night, we went to the house, we hung it. And I took it to the, I want to say abattoir, but butcher shop the next day where Jim's daughter worked.
Okay.
And Fish and Game was there. They checked the license and everything. Of course, I got in the back of the truck with the head up. Everybody blowing their horn, waving at me. And Wyoming tags, right?
Okay.
So they thought I was a local. Hey,
Right.
done, got your elk, hey. Anyway, took it, unloaded it and everything. Game department checked me out, and everything's fine. And then that night I got home. Her name was Jamie, Jim's daughter, called and said, "Hey, we got a problem. We took care of it. Your elk is spoiled.
Oh, from driving around in the truck?
Bad." But they took it to the dump and got rid of it, caped it out and everything, got it to the taxidermy. But if you let an animal go bad, they charge you. It gets pretty expensive.
Gotcha.
And that antelope up there, and that one's one Bobby shot.
The white one? The little one or this one?
No, the little one.
That one right here? Where'd she shoot that? Because you don't have a plaque or anything there.
Wyoming,
Wyoming too?
Red Desert. And the next, the bighorn sheep. And
Are they aggressive?
no.
No.
None of your antelope are aggressive. Except all of them are aggressive. If you got them wounded and you walk up and try and pet them, they'll come after you, mostly. But I shot that bighorn in Wyoming with Jim Collins too. And that's a draw, what they call a draw tag. In other words, you put in for it, it's a lottery. And some people have put in for them for like 30 years and never drawn. I drew after like 12 years.
Wow.
And that Aoudad, the one next to it, shot in West Texas with Jim Collins and a hunter. That was an interesting trip too.
So let me ask you something. Why is this thing on a lottery?
They're rare.
Oh, okay.
There are not that many of them.
Okay.
There are too many people on the earth right now. That's why.
Okay.
There's 4 types of sheep, and in the United States, all of them are on lottery.
Gotcha.
And the mountain goat shot in Alaska. That was my second trip up there. That's probably one of the toughest animals you'll ever hunt.
Why? Fast?
No, there's a reason they call them mountain goats. They live on the top of the mountain. First trip I went, I came back, I could hardly walk. I had sprained a thigh muscle.
Uh-huh.
It was straight up, one waterfall after another, hand over hand. Of course, the guy, I was like 60. The guy I was with was like 28, and I think his hobby was marathon running or something. Anyway, I never got it that trip. There was a boat trip. Went out, you hunted during the day and spend the night in the boat. And I caught some nice salmon.
Is that on the lottery? This mountain goat?
No, not in Alaska. In the United States, yeah. Very hard to draw. Like Colorado has mountain goat. They only have 4 licenses a year.
Oh, man.
So you can put in all your life and not draw one. Let me see.
And then you said this is the male and female.
Yeah. Water buffalo.
Where are those from?
Australia, same
Those are
place.
Australia. And then behind you, you've got a whole bunch of deer.
Yeah. They're basically from all over. Kansas, Iowa, Wyoming. That's from Wyoming. That's the record class deer there.
I was going to ask you why those 3 are on the wall and that one's on a special pedestal.
Now, one, that's the best whitetail I ever killed,
Okay.
and I didn't have much room on a wall anymore. That's the only Boone and Crockett deer I've got out of all of them.
And you got a whole bunch of ducks and it looks like an owl up there. Is there anything
Yeah.
behind those?
Those are from Bobby's grandfather collection. Except the 2 ducks to the right there, those are ones I had mounted.
And then these 3 deer, are these local?
No. The 2 of them are from Kansas, and the one next to it, those are whitetail there.
Okay.
Okay, the one next to it is a mule deer. See how the horns are different?
Yeah.
See, those 2 are the same.
So these 2 are the same. This one's different?
Yeah, look how the horns branch different.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
That's the way you can tell a mule deer.
Huh. This one looks more like wild, too, if you look at it. The ears.
Yeah, they're bigger deer, too. They're not as good at eating as a whitetail.
What's all this stuff?
Just animal tails,
Animal tails.
wildebeest.
Okay.
Just like this one here.
Huh.
Fly swatter.
And I know you always say that's not you on the water, even though it looks like you fishing on a boat.
No, that's me.
That is you fishing on a boat. I
Yep.
thought it was. My dad said it wasn't.
Yeah, Bobby took that picture.
That's a great photo, Jack. How young were you?
Oh, it was probably in the 40s.
They had color photo back then? They had colored pictures back then?
I'm old, but I'm not that old, JR.
So you got the 4 bass up here. What about those? Anything behind
Well,
those?
they're just all over 10 pounds.
Okay. And then you got your zebra.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind the zebra? Why is it?
Okay. Well, I got 2 zebras.
Yeah.
This is called a mountain or a Hardeman zebra.
The bigger one is.
Yeah. Notice how the stripes go all the way down.
Yeah.
And that one over there is just a regular zebra, common zebra.
Any, how was it hunting this thing?
Well, I shot it out of a Jeep, so it wasn't that hard.
Africa?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, what are these things?
Those are antelope,
Those are all antelope?
pronghorn antelope.
Pronghorn antelope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are all killed in Wyoming. Some of them are damn good, longer horns. And then below it are those pasture pigeons.
And what's the story with the passenger pigeons again?
Okay, they're from Bobby's grandfather's collection.
Which is how old?
Uh-huh.
How old is that collection?
Oh, hell, he's back in the 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s. But he gave the largest ornithology collection that's ever been donated to the Smithsonian.
Wow.
And also the University of Miami. One of their science buildings is named after him, Weber Hall.
Oh.
But anyway, Bobby gave the University of Miami all this shit before I met her. She had some stuff left. But I mean, I could have had bald eagles and golden eagles and everything else here legally.
Yeah, wow.
But did you ever do any research? What I told you to look them up?
I think I did, but I it's been so long I never wrote it down or anything.
It's really a weird type deal. Some of them, like 20 years ago, sold for like $300 to $500. The latest one sold a piece from anywhere from $8,000 to $15,000, and they've gone up for auction as high as $250,000. So that's something you don't want when they come to get all this shit. You don't want them to take.
What about that deer in front of it? Is that just another? You didn't have any more wall space for it?
Yeah, that's just didn't have wall space, and it's a pretty good deer, but not near as good as this one.
So the lion, we're back to that, and I remember you told me this story once before. So tell me about that story with the
Well,
lion.
this is the hunt Frick and I were on in 1983. On that particular hunt, I had 4 buffalo, 2 elephant, a lion, a leopard, plus a bunch of plains game. You know, like 15 impalas stuff. Anyway, we set out baits for leopard, lion, and I'd shot an elephant. We had it for bait. And anyway, the lions, there were so many buffalo and plains game, they didn't have to eat carrion. They just killed, they get hungry, they just go kill something. Anyway, one day we were just driving around, looking for tracks and, you know, just see what we could see. And hell, down this dry lake bed, about 200 yards away, there was a whole pride of lions. So we stopped, we're looking at them, and Frick said, "Get out slow." Said, "Your lion is just your left over there, about 20 yards. He was sitting in some brush like this, just looking at us. So I got out, moved around in front of the Jeep, and had a game card with an AK, or no, an FN, 2 of the trackers. I shot that lion. He went straight up, bit a tree in half like that, doing all kinds of crazy roaring. And I shot him twice more. And then Frick said, "Look out." And that whole pride of lions were coming for us. So he got out, and I reloaded. And they stopped about 100 yards away and just started walking towards us. And Frick said, when they get to that bush, which is about 20 yards away, he said, "You start on the left, I'll start on the right, and just kill everyone you can, because they're coming." Anyway, they backed off, finally went away. And of course, the lion, he quit roaring. He was dead by then.
So that was that was the hunting party you were with? The
Yeah,
guides
well,
or whatever?
we were in a government-controlled area.
Gotcha.
That's why we had the game guard with us. He was to watch us.
Gotcha.
And we said, you know, "Where'd you go?" "Well, I was protecting your other side." Frick said, "Bullshit."
And then you got what is that standing behind it, the giant animal there with the horns?
The full mount?
This one right here. Yeah, full mount this time.
Yeah, it's Inyala from Nepal, which is on the west coast of Africa, it's down low in South Africa.
Okay.
Hunted him, and that was one Bobby and I went on. Let me see. That kudu with the big spiral horns up there.
Yeah.
I got him on that same trip.
You talking about the one on the right, the big neck one?
No, the one on the left.
This one here?
Yeah, there are two different kinds of kudu.
That's what I was about to ask you. They definitely look different, the two of them.
Yeah, one on the left's a Cape kudu, and the other one's just the common kudu.
Okay.
And you got all the little ones up there. I had a fascination with shooting those. I killed a couple of them Frick's Place, a couple of them in South Africa, one of them Namibia, one of them Nepal, and those two down there killed him. One of them in Zimbabwe and one of them in Namibia, Southwest Africa.
Now, because a lot of these, they've all got different, like, horn features, like some curl, some twist, some are just pointy. Are they all from the same continent, or are these all from different continents? Because you're saying
No,
Africa.
they're the same, all of Africa.
They're all Africa. Okay.
Yep, that whole wall there is Africa.
Wow.
Except for the couple of deer.
Okay. And then these all have smooth horns. Then you got this guy right here in the middle above your guns that's like got like the like almost cuts in the horns and all of them next to it. What are those?
Well, to the left of the kudu are bushbuck.
Okay.
All right.
These little ones here?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. And then what about these two giant looking things?
Okay. That's just, the one in the middle is a water buck. Killed that with Frick. And the other is a red lechwe. Killed that in South Africa. One just below and to the left is another bushbuck.
Okay. And then,
Those three bushbuck, they're all different. Those one of them's common bushbuck, one of them's a Cape bushbuck.
are you talking about this one, and this one?
No,
No.
to the right of those two.
Yep.
Both those and the other one.
Okay.
The one you're just looking at.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
So those three are all different?
Yep. One of them's a Cape bushbuck, one of them's a common bushbuck, and the other's a Limpopo bushbuck.
Okay.
It's different areas of Africa.
Golly. Oh, man. And then you got the one with the horns that it look like they're like 4 feet long.
That's a Gemsbuck. That was killed in the Nama Desert in Southwest Africa. One of my first couple of hunts.
Wow.
And the ones right above it are Impala. There's a couple of Impala up there. They're all just the common Impala.
And then this one looks unique. What is this thing?
It's called Sassaby.
A Sassaby?
Yeah, it starts with a T.
Okay.
Tssaby something.
Where is that thing from?
Oh, Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Killed that with Frick. They're fairly rare. We just looked on it.
And then you got obviously the thing with the giant neck. What in the hell is that thing? That thing's massive.
That's the eland.
My goodness, that's
I
probably
killed that in Namibia.
Good Lord, have mercy. How big was that thing? And just based on the neck.
Their average weight is 1,800, 2,000 pounds.
God. So, and I'm assuming that's just like a plains animal, lives on the plains?
Yeah.
Jeez, that thing's huge, man.
The one right next to it is a blessbuck, which is a common animal. And then the one right above it with the weird-looking horns, that's the red Cape hartebeest. And then the one left of it, the hartebeest, is called a bonnet buck.
That's the one with the white on the nose?
But notice how much it looks like the blessbuck.
Yeah.
Okay, the difference is the blessbuck's a very common animal. I mean, it's just hundreds of thousands of them. The bonnet buck is a class 1 endangered, can't be killed, period, without this much paperwork.
Oh my gosh.
And I killed it in South Africa.
And they had that much paperwork? And this was back in 1998. They had that much paperwork back then?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it took me 6 months to get a permit for that thing from U.S. Fish and Wildlife.
Yeah, once you get close, you can really see the difference, but from far away, they look very similar.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine hunting.
That you might have trouble with, depending if the guys know what they're looking at, because you can't sell that. That and the leopard you can't sell.
Yeah, what's the story with the leopard? What's the story with the leopard?
The story with the leopard is I went to Africa 5 times hunting them before I killed that one. I finally shot it at night with a spotlight, which is completely legal. But now it wouldn't be because that's a female, and you can't shoot females anymore.
What year was that?
Oh, shit. Early 90s, I would think, or late 80s. You know, I made like 20 trips over there, and they all kind of blend together.
Yeah.
But I went over twice. The one thing I hunted was leopard. Never shot my gun.
And then what about that little itty bitty deer in front of the leopard?
Well, it's called a grisebuck. It's actually really high up in the leopard or record book, even though little bitty horns. That was my fascination. There's like 50 of those little, they call them pygmy antelope.
Yeah, because what makes that one different from all the little itty bitty ones over there on the wall?
They're just different.
Just different, okay. Because you got another little one over here.
Yeah, now that's a grisebuck. The other is a diker,
Okay.
blue diker. The last trip to Africa, that's the main animal I went for.
That's the blue diker, right? The
Yeah.
one over here by the fire pit. So why is that one rare?
It's just, there's not many of them,
Okay.
and they're only in certain areas. It's like the blue diker up there, the one that Raphael gets.
Yeah, the little tiny one. Yeah.
Yeah, I promised that to Raphael.
Right.
But that's second smallest antelope in Africa. The other one's in Morocco, called a royal diker, and you can't shoot them.
And what about your bears? You got a black bear and a grizzly, right?
Yeah, both shot in Alaska.
And any story behind those?
Well, the brown bear tried to eat me.
God. Well, how did that play out? Tell me about it.
Well, I went to Alaska with this guy, John Graybill, who's a complete outlaw. Okay. He's a guy that got caught, I don't know, a couple of times doing bad shit. Like, there's a law in Alaska, you can't fly and hunt the same day.
Okay.
And he did. And got caught.
Okay.
And I mean, where he landed, they couldn't land. So they had to land down. They were coming up to arrest him and everything, which they'd take your plane and all that. He let him get about 3/4 way up the mountain and set his plane on fire. So they couldn't get it.
Holy cow.
He was convicted and fined heavy one time for something. He walked out of the courthouse, saw a fish and game vehicle, took a beer bottle and smashed it into the windshield. And they couldn't prosecute him because they couldn't get his fingerprints off the beer bottle. But anyway, I was hunting with him. He got to be good friends with me. And he came down here a couple of times. I was up in Alaska a couple of times. So anyway, going to go brown bear hunting in the spring. Well, you had to have a guide to hunt those things, but he had a guy that would sign the paperwork, and then he had a nephew that would take out the license, and it just got deeper and deeper.
Gotcha.
Anyway, we were going up to see some friends of his way up north, and he wanted to check he had watched this bear den up. He figured it'd be another week or two before he came out. Well, we were flying over, and this damn bear just sitting there looking at us. So he came back, landed on this lake. The damn snow was this deep. So we're walking up to him, and then the bear started walking across, and I was still about 200 yards away. And the rifle I had was a .458 with open sights, which, with that gun and open sights, it's like no more than 100-yard gun.
Okay.
Anyway, John, shoot him. So he stopped and stood up, and I aimed the top of his head and hit him. He rolled over, and he ran down a little coulee like. So now we got to go find this damn bear. We don't know if he's dead or not. John didn't even have a gun. Okay, so he's walking ahead of me, and we decided to go up above the bear and come down. I kept saying, John, damn it. I said, I can't keep up with you. Slow down. You're dead. Don't worry about it. I said, I'm not sure. So anyway, coming around, and I finally said, John, come back and let's walk together. And I said, okay. So he came back. We're going over a little knoll. And here comes that damn bear from about 30 feet.
Oh, wow.
Just straight for us. Now shot him twice, killed him, went down. But if John would have been 20 feet ahead of me, that damn bear would have got him.
Yeah. Jeez. Wow.
So anyway, I was shaking after that. Anyway, we skinned him out. And I don't know, we were halfway skinning him. We heard a plane. John said, oh, shit. He figured it was a game department or something tracking him.
Oh, God.
But it didn't. Plane never came over us. Anyway, we flew back to his house. He got his nephew to sign for it and took it to the taxidermist.
Huh. And then what about the black bear?
That was semi-legal. We landed, and there was just blueberries everywhere. You couldn't walk without mashing them. Good place for black bears.
Alaska, too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were walking around and saw him. I just shot him. But no big deal.
So why is it semi-legal, though?
We were flying the same day hunting.
Oh, gotcha. So that's one reason.
But they wouldn't have caught us then. We were in the woods.
And then you got what are these two things over the fireplace here?
The one on the right is a black wildebeest. The one on the left is just what they call a common wildebeest, or brindled gnu. GNU.
Okay.
And you got the elephant tusks.
Yeah.
That's where your buddy Barack signed an executive order in,
Oh my God, it's so heavy.
well, they're 40 pounds, 20-some pounds a piece. Anyway, your buddy Barack signed an executive order July of 2016. It's legal to sell them as long as I sell them in my home state, which is Florida, to somebody else who's a resident of Florida.
Gotcha.
Unbelievable. Why have a law like that, John? How come Trump didn't do away with that executive order?
He will when he wins re-election in 2024.
Yeah.
And then this giant thing, this is a caribou.
Yep, that was killed in
85.
northern Canada, just inside the Arctic Circle.
Wow. So you've been to Africa. We've obviously confirmed that. North America. What about South America?
Nope, never hunted South America.
And we got Australia.
Yeah,
And then what about Russia,
no.
Europe, anything like that?
Well, when I was in the military, I hunted Germany a little bit, but
Okay.
they're so controlled over there, I didn't enjoy it.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I was only a warrant officer, so the colonels got to shoot the big shit, and I got to shoot the crippled doe that came out right at dark. So I didn't think much of that.
And then these are all, I'm assuming, just you had more space up here.
Yeah,
Examples
that's just, all those are just Florida stuff.
A lot of history here, Jack. And then you got all this stuff in the books over here.
Well, a whole lifetime.
Yeah. And then you did tell me one before about your guns. You got an elephant gun and a couple other things, right?
Yeah. Let's go out, sit down in there and have a cup of coffee a minute.
Sure. I could go for a cup of coffee. And I wanted to ask you about that elephant ear, too, the one that's the picture of the map of Africa.
Yep.
So
That would be something
Careful.
you want to remember me by. That. This is just all miscellaneous shit. I just shot these to be shooting something when I went over to get that, what the hell? The diker that I was shot in them heavy. But Troy, my old buddy Troy, drew this for me, relieved it. That's kind of neat.
So he drew. So you shot that, and that's the elephant in the picture?
Yeah, that's the elephant. That's Shrek.
And how old were you in that photo, or how old is that photo? 80s?
1983.
83? God, yeah, that's so cool.
The Sable, shoot one now, you're looking at 12, 15,000.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'd get in. That's just the trophy fee.
Oh my gosh. Here, you want to sit down? I'll make some coffee for us.
Yeah. One sleep, no. You can use that cup right there.
You want to brew some fresh coffee?
No, that's good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You said one sweet and low. What else?
And a little bit of cream.
A little bit of cream.
Oh.
Is your sweet and low Splenda?
Yep.
Yeah, one of these and cream. Let me know if you need more cream.
No, just right. Grab a phone off the charger. I got a question or two on it.
So, real quick though, your firearms in there. You said, I know we've talked about it, you got elephant gun. What other interesting firearms you got in there?
Yeah. There's one in there that I hunted almost exclusively with. That's that Seiko 30-06.
Okay.
I've showed that to you, I think. The only other one that's kind of neat is that Browning double barrel. Russ's stuff, one of them I made, but Troy and I made that 338 in there. It's all inlaid and
Wow.
heavy barrel and all that shit, make it to go bear hunting. Never used it for that. But I took it to Africa to shoot the eland with. Okay. Got over there and hunted for a week for this damn eland. Finally got him at about 60 yards. It's all ready to shoot. And I looked through the scope and it was black. The scope was broke.
Oh, no.
Now this was a Leopold expensive fucking scope. I'd never shot that gun at anything except a target. And I don't think I ever did shoot anything. Anyway, of course, got back to States at Leopold. Leopold sent me a new scope. There you go. Sorry.
Wow.
So I had to sneak back to the vehicle, like half a mile, get my 30-06, which I had, sneak back on the eland. Of course, the eland wasn't there then.
Right.
It took another, 2 days to find him again.
Oh, my gosh.
Finally got him shot. This was, like an early hunt, like in the late 70s in Southwest Africa. And they just started sport hunting. And this guy that's pseudo-professional hunter, I wanted, what do I want? I know, it's one of the Cape Hartebeests, okay? So I know a guy's got a whole bunch of, he had like 50 of them in a corral about the size of my lawn. But he had all the horns cut off because he was raising them like beef cattle. Mm-hmm. Which one he wanted to shoot? Well, the farmer got all pissed because he didn't want to shoot one. What do you mean you don't want one? I couldn't explain to him I was trying to sport hunt, Well, you fucking Americans. That's the guy. That's an interesting story. Bobby and I were on that. It'd take me a while, a little bit of history on it. You remember a guy, Dennis, in Miami by the name of Cal K? Probably not. Anyways, a hunting buddy of mine, Dennis, and he was on the lease with us. And, anyway, he and a friend went over to Namibia and hunted with this guy. So that's a good deal, cheap, everything, good animals, drive you around and stay at his house. And you go to these different farms, stay there. So I set up a hunt with him. And Bobby and I were both going. This was back when, even on international flights, you just carried your gun in a soft case on the airplane with you. They didn't think anything about it, just put it in the overhead rack.
Wow.
Just walk through customs and everywhere. It was, I think it was 1980. Anyway, so we got over to Southwest Africa, landed there. Well, it was a Sunday. Unlike the United States, there wasn't a fucking thing open, nothing. Finally got the rental car guy to come out and get a rental car. Then we had like 200 miles to drive, and I wasn't real sure where I was going. I had a kind of a map, and the first drop off was his parents' place, and then we were supposed to meet there.
Okay.
Anyway, there was nothing open. No restaurants, no gas stations. It was like a plague had hit the area. Finally got to his parents' place, and they didn't know anything about it. Funniest thing. Of course, they don't speak English either. So they spoke Afrikaans, and I spoke a little bit of German back then, too. And they still couldn't, so they called a neighbor that could speak about as much English as I can speak Spanish.
Oh, God.
Finally got it. Oh, my son's supposed to hunt you. We don't know anything about it. And he's having trouble with his wife right now. But we can tell you how to get to his place. But you have to spend the night here because you need gas, so no gas stations open. Okay, now this town we're staying at, I mean, if they had 300 people in it, I'd be surprised. Out in the middle of the Namib Desert. So, okay, we spent the night, got up, beautiful big breakfast, friendly as can be, except nobody could understand each other. So off went with this map, fueled up. About 10 miles out of town, we had like 100 miles to go. The road pavement ended. Now it's just down Namib Desert sand. And it kept getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, got about to where we're supposed to be, and they had a fucking thing there. Nothing. Now we didn't have enough fucking gas to get back. I went a little bit more. Saw this house up on the hill. We're just, I would have get shot, but maybe that'll be the best thing that ever happened to me right now. We pull up, obviously, first fucking visitor they had probably in 2 years. I mean, a guy with a big full beard, his wife, and about a half dozen fucking kids came out just looking at us. You know, I got up, hi, peace. Anyway, he couldn't speak English either, but I had the guy's name I was supposed to hunt with, and I kept repeating that. Me, and he had his name written down. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, oh, you want, yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, and it's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I can see the fucking sun going down. Anyway, he said, call me. So he got his vehicle and took me to the guy. The guy was there. Said, I didn't think you were supposed to come for another 2 weeks. I said, come on. Okay, his wife is there. She hadn't said a fucking word. We came in, she left the room. Welcome, you know, and he could speak good English. Yeah, we're just, you know, well, yeah, we can start up tomorrow. Yeah, that's fine. And I don't know, they make something for dinner. Anyway, in the middle of the night, she left. Never saw her again.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, we started on this hunting. And let me see. I killed a couple animals. Well, that's where I got the big Gims buck with the long horns.
Okay.
And killed that on his place. He had a ranch. I don't know what the hell he was raising. But anyway, killed that one other animal. And then we're going around looking for eland, looking for kudu and stuff like that. Anyway, we had hunted about 5 days, staying one night here, 2 nights there, and having a hell of a good time, really. Liked the guy. And anyway, this one place, right at dark, 3 kudu came. One of them had to be a world record. I mean, 10 inches better than anything I'd even hoped for. Well, it was right at dark. He told me not to shoot. We'd get it in the morning. Well, 5 o'clock the next morning, he said, well, there's been a change. We got to leave. I said, what about this kudu? Well, we'll get one just good someplace. You know, what are you going to do? So we load up and leave. Anyway, long story short, we had about another week and shot a shit kudu. Well, he wasn't shit. He was pretty good, really. He's 50-some inches. But anyway, he took us to the hotel, And one thing Cal K told me is to make sure you take the trophies with you. That's one problem that people have had with this guy. So anyway, so I told him, yeah. So we stayed at a, a nice place, like a Holiday Inn. And, good food, good drinks, everything, just relaxing after a hunt. Well, the second day, knock on the door. Went to the door, there's a guy in a game department uniform. He said, "Are you Mr. Morgan?" I said, "Yeah." "Hi. Well, come on." He spoke good English too. "So I'd like to talk to you a while." I said, "Okay, you want to come in?" "No, let's just go down to the bar and have a beer, and I just want to get some information from you." Well, I thought, how do you enjoy your hunt? And
Right.
would you recommend this? And blah, blah, blah. He said, "Well, tell me about your hunt." I told him the whole thing and this and that. And we're just waiting an extra day so I could take my trophies with me. He said, "Oh, okay, and you're hunting so-and-so. You're supposed to show up your trophies." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, that sounds like legitimate." He took a tape recorder out, turned it off. He said, "What you've done is broken every law in Southwest Africa. This guy is not licensed, which makes everything you've done illegal,
Oh no.
which makes every animal you shot illegal, but you've basically been scammed. So we're not trying to prosecute you. We're trying to get this guy." And I said, "Well, he's supposed to have my trophies with him." And now, Windhoek's Airport in Southwest Africa is like 20 miles outside the city. A lot of your African airports are because of coup takeovers, basically. Anyway, so we're all set to go. Now, this game department guy and his buddies are set up at the airport. And they're going to wait till he comes with my trophies and grab him. Okay. Well, he shows up. "Sorry, I just couldn't get your trophies ready, blah, blah, blah." And anyway, we had to catch our flight out of there. Mm-hmm. So we went there, and the guy I hunted with left, okay, with his black tracker buddy. And when they drove off, the game department, one of them followed him. And the guy that I had talked to, interviewed with, he was still at the airport, and I told him what had happened, blah, blah, blah. And he said, "Would you, could you, I've got a statement that typed up from our interview. Would you sign it?" I said, "For sure." Anyway, come to find out, they followed this guy back to his place, and he had like 5 people's trophies. And the reason they got onto him, he had trophies of the guy that was like the assistant ambassador to South Africa from the United States. And he hunted with this guy like 2 years ago and still didn't have his trophies. So the powers that be started this. And the outcome, of course, they confiscated all my trophies, but the outcome was kind of neat. Anyway, the guy I hunted with, I think they sent him away for like 7 years in prison. And I had talked to this game department guy, several times over the phone, sent him, legally prepared statements. So 2 years later, he invited me to come hunt with him, or come visit him, and I could go do some hunting and pick up my trophies. They still have them. I said, "Hey, great." Anyway, So I showed up there, and what it was, he took me on these different ranches to hunt. And what he was doing, the guy that owned the ranches or whoever, was getting qualified to be a professional hunter. So he had to play act like I was a hunter and he was a professional hunter, and the game guy was watching him, you know, do whatever they do. So it was kind of interesting.
Huh. That's a really cool story.
Yeah, so I got my trophies back. And I don't know, I lost track of him over the years.
How do you even ship trophies from Africa to here? Like all those?
Well, it used to be easy. Frick could take them, this guy in Harare, guy packaging them up, tax terms, just shipped them. You know, had customs tag on it. Then you'd have your tax terms here, pick them up, and that was it. Not anymore. First of all, it's illegal to ship elephant ivory, lion, leopard, and yeah, just those three now. And elephant, except from Botswana and the Caprivi Strip in Namibia. Tanzania, Zimbabwe, all that, they're all held up for God knows how long. That trip where I went back to hunt with the game warden, I had vacation, dropped some trips, so Bobby and I went over there for, I think, a little over a month. I'd already hunted with Frick, you know, a couple times. You know, went back to Frick, and they had visited us in the state, and Lizette and Bobby got along real good together, so it was just friends hunting with friends. Anyway, the game department guys said, I'll get you the best, whatchamacallit, kudu that you could even imagine. So I'm hunting on Frick's place. Here comes the kudu, somewhere around 60 inches, which is, I mean, usually you just start shooting, you don't even ask.
Okay.
And Frick said, shoot him. Oh, no, I'm going to get a really good one down in Namibia. I'll get one, make this look like a baby. I never shot a kudu on that trip. And it's one of those stories where bird in the hand. Yeah, Frick and I have a bunch of stories. Another trip I was on, and I was a little tight on money between the Orange Groves and maxed out at the Grand Union, whatever. Anyway, we ran into a hell of a nice eland, beautiful eland. And I said, I just can't afford it. And Frick said, well, it's really a good one. I said, yeah, but I'll be broke if I've got enough money. Anyway, so let him pass, didn't shoot. Got back talking to Bobby, and Bobby said, well, I brought an extra 5,000. You know, damn eland trophy fee, that was like $900 or something. We hunted for 2 weeks, never even saw. We put trackers on that damn eland, tracked him till dark. He just never stopped, just kept going. An eland, when he's walks at like 3 miles an hour. So in 20 hours, he's 60 miles away.
Gotcha.
From 4 different ranches.
Those are awesome stories.
The first trip I ever made to Africa was, like I said, with Dick Frucci. And this was during the war. This was 78, I think. And that's when you know, everybody was against Zimbabwe, and well, it wasn't Zimbabwe then; it was called Rhodesia. And so, well, I landed at the airport at Vic Falls. They gave me an FN, a couple magazines of ammo, and a damn satchel full of grenades.
Jeez.
You have to go on. So, and well, the airplane I flew in Vic Falls, 2 months later, they shot it down. And stuff like that. And I remember another thing on that trip. I'd never been to Africa before. When you think Africa, what do you think?
Like safari, just wilderness and brush, and that's pretty much it.
Hot or cold?
Hot, very hot.
Yeah. The heaviest thing I had was a pair of jeans and a sport coat. Africa during our summer is not hot. You wake up in the morning, there's ice on the water. I looked like Clint Eastwood riding around because I had a blanket with a hole cut in it draped over my shoulders. I about froze to death that whole trip. Now, I'd get up to 70 degrees during the day. But at night, it got cold.
Why couldn't you buy like local wear? Did they have any markets or
I'm
anything?
out 50 miles from the closest, Bass Pro Shops. Of course, at that time, the whole world had sanctions against Rhodesia. They couldn't get anything. Even if I could buy something.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history, Jack.
Yep.